Do you enjoy going to Moulin Rouge as much as we do? Better yet, do you like going to concerts and sporting events?
SeatGeek helps people easily purchase tickets to these kind of events and unites people like you and us through live entertainment.
And things just got easier for you. As proud partners of SeatGeek, you can use our exclusive promo code CANCAN10 and you'll get $10 off of any purchase that is $250 or over.
Hey Lily, you've been eyeing up that can seat for a while.
You're so right, Jules. I think I'm gonna go purchase it right now and use our code for a discount. Do you want to join?
Hell yeah!
Again, that's CANCAN10, CANCAN10, to get $10 off of any purchase that is $250 or over, only valid for one purchase.
Welcome back to another episode of Can Talks. It's your girl, Jules, with my co-host, Lily.
Really?
I forgot your name for a second. We
Okay,
are
it's
back.
like 1 in the morning for me, so.
It is a little late, this episode. It is a little bit late in the evening, but all for good reason. We have a very special guest today, all the way from sunny Australia. We have James Bryers, aka Dookie Kabuki, in the Australian cast. How awesome is that? It's so exciting for me.
Going with
Lily,
the Team Duke.
we're on the Team Duke
We're on the team.
trend.
Yeah, we are.
Tell you, it's all about Team Duke, baby. Yeah, we are so back, and we are back with a Dookie episode. So, without further ado, would you like to do a little introduction,
Sure.
Lily?
So James was in the tour of Puffs. He played Cedric, which is the lead role. He was in the national tour of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Um,
Iconic.
he was in the Australian and New Zealand production of Matilda, Jersey Boys, Pirates of Penzance, and Dirty Dancing. So another stacked resume, which
See
we
that?
love.
Act. We love that. All right. Without further ado, without further ado, let's get into it.
Woo! We are with James Bryers from the Australian production of Moulin Rouge. Team Duke.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah,
Thank
Team
you.
Duke.
Team
Sorry, I gotta
Duke, the
say Duke.
best.
Team Duke. Duke.
Duke. It sounds like you're saying dude. You're like Team Dude.
Dude.
Um, Thank you again. I think I've told you thank you like 3 times. My bad.
And no worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get on some questions. We also have fan questions. I put a questionnaire out
Oh,
and I had quite a few people reach out. So, I'm gonna start. What was can you tell us your audition story?
sure. Okay. So so my first audition was in 2020. Why did I say 2020? 2020 in January, just before the Australian borders closed. So it was in Sydney, and we had the American team there on the panel and the Australian team as well. And I walked into the room. Initially, my agent contacted me and said they want to see you for Santiago. And I replied, and I'm like, if they see me for that role, I won't book it. So they went back and chatted to casting and came back, said, okay, well, they'll see you for the Duke. And I'm like, I didn't really know much about the show at that point. I'm like, I'm not going to book this. I go into the room and I do my scenes and I sing my song, and I was nervous as anything. And you could tell everyone there was nervous because there was talk of Australia closing the borders. And I did it, and I thought I did terribly. I sang Duke's song and a couple of the scenes, and I think there was one other person after me, and then the American team got up, went to the airport, and got on the plane straight away. Like that's how it was, like pretty intense in the vibe. Um, did that, didn't hear anything for like a couple months because, COVID. And then they call me back saying, oh, they want you to put down some more material. I'm like, okay. So we're all locked up in our apartments, and I put down some material and sent that off. And then another month or two goes by. We're still locked down. Now in another city because I was living in a studio apartment in Sydney, and I was staying in another city with a friend and in a bigger house and doing more scenes. And then they asked me to put down Roxanne, and I hadn't sung for a couple of years, and so I got it out, but it wasn't anything special. I was pretty embarrassed by it. And I guess that they were just seeing what they could do with me. Um, and then it got down to, from my understanding, they had like a handful of people that they were seeing for the Duke. And oh, during this time, I had done some work over Zoom with Ashley Rodbro and also Keen, who used to be on the music team. And that was I was nervous about that because I hadn't met them in person. So we're chatting on Zoom, they were giving me notes and everything, talking about what they wanted to see me do to put down more on camera. And then we had our and so there were a few of us left, but then it kind of went silent because they were trying to work out what was going on. And next thing you know, they opened up the auditions again to everyone. And so I was like, oh. But at this point, I went back into the room and it was my second last audition. And we're talking like a year later now, almost. And I did probably the best audition that I've ever done. In my I left feeling really great about it. And about 15 minutes later, my agent called me and said, "Oh, would you consider covering?" And I was like, "Oh, I want the role." But yeah. Look, COVID has been long. I need a job, and I like this, and I like the character, and I felt like if I said yes to that, then I'll book it. So I said yes, had one more round, and they gave me the Ziedler material, and I went back in the next day, and I hadn't really sung through it. And Chandelier is, for my voice, is in a really weird place. Like it's right in the middle of my passaggio, like the really tight part, and it needs to be big. Well, that's what they were telling me. And so I was blowing out my voice while singing it, and they were like, "Come on, just do it, just rough." And yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about how it sounds. And I thought I bombed it. Um, but I ended up booking the role, the off stage principal cover for Duke and Ziedler, and I was like, sweet, all right, this is good. Sorry, that was really long.
No. Zidler. So that's didn't you go on for Zidler once? I think I read or I saw
Twice.
twice. She did so in the
On
whole.
Yeah,
Oh
yep.
wow,
We
that's
the
such
the
a
first
yeah.
sorry.
No, sorry, that's such a big like part as well. Like Zidler's such a he's such
Mm,
a big character as well. So
Mhm.
I'd
very
be
different to the Duke too, which was I really enjoy. Like I kind of predominantly started out in the industry as acting being, my main focus, and I guess because I can sing, that lends itself to, you know, music theatre being a part of it. And so I liked the challenge of having these two contrasting characters with very different journeys throughout the show. And I when I first started in the industry, I started as a swing, and I first started on Jersey Boys, and I was covering 6 or 7 tracks, and no one taught me how you're supposed to learn how to swing or how it all works. You just kind of get thrown in and you have to develop a system yourself. And I enjoyed the challenge of that. And so with this, I was looking forward to that challenge. And also I was interested to know who else I'd be off stage with, because as when you are an off stage in a show, that can make or break your experience. And I was very lucky to have some awesome people to hang out backstage for the first year with. Yeah. And so like it was bittersweet. I'll say this. I feel very grateful to have been able to take over the role. And I'll tell you, when Andy was leaving, I had already been on about a third of the shows by the time Andy left, a little bit less. Um And when he was leaving, they were auditioning for the Duke again, and so I had to go in and audition. And by this time, I'd already done like 150 shows, and I was really in my head about it. I'm like, I this could be really bad. Like if I don't book it, I'm what does that say about me? Like, and I lean into insecurity. I'm very good at being insecure, and so it was playing with me. But um, I was like, well, I if I can learn anything from the Duke, it's confidence, and he's got quite the ego. Um, he would see it as a healthy ego, and I'm like, well, I can use what I've maybe learned from him and treat this experience with that in mind. And yeah, again, I had to audition for the show a second time after being with them for a year already, and that was really good for me because I can remember being in the waiting room with all of these other people who I knew and who I'd seen perform, and I'd seen their work, and I knew they were very good. And I never, I, you know, a lot of people compare themselves to other actors, and I'm very much one of those people. I'm learning to not do it so much because it's pretty detrimental, but um, seeing them in the audition waiting room, psyching myself out, and I just go in and do my job and leave. And yeah, I booked it, obviously, and it was a that was a nerve-wracking audition experience. Auditioning for a role that you'd already done many, many times.
I couldn't imagine.
Especially like
Yeah,
150 times. Yeah, actually, can you re-audition? Just I've done the show 150. I just want to see it again.
but I do appreciate it though because I don't necessarily think that one should just be given the role because they've done it so many times. And I know Moulin Rouge is a company, like the people who do Moulin Rouge, they do a lot of course, someone's knocking on my door. Um, I'm just on a Zoom. So I'm staying with family at the moment. That's my dad. Um, uh, yeah, there is a thing with like people taking over the roles that are a part of the company, and I appreciate that they were auditioning because the entire I think it's dangerous when you feel entitled to something, and I didn't feel entitled to it. Some people shared their opinions that I was entitled to it, but I appreciate that I had to work hard to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, I feel like that's it's like nerve-wracking, but like also I just yeah, I definitely agree. Like, you don't want it just handed to you. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I feel like
You want
you
to be the right person for it.
right. And I feel like once you like when you like really put in the work, like in like auditioning and stuff, like it
Mm,
makes you feel even more better about yourself too.
mm, mm. Well, and when we first started rehearsals, like I knew Andy Cook, who originated the role in Australia. I went to university with him. He was in a couple of years below me, and so I'd known him for 10 years, like, and I knew he was very talented. And when we came into the rehearsal room and seeing the puzzle that they put together of the principles and how they worked together, I'm like, oh, that's why he got it. I can see how he fits in with what they've created. And I'll tell you, I've been in an experience where I haven't necessarily understood the puzzle that they've put together and not felt cheated, but felt like, oh, I know that I could have really made that good. But in this instance, I can see why Andy was cast in the role and I wasn't initially. And I feel very fortunate that I was able to do the role many times before taking it over to develop my own version that still fits within the playground of the Moulin Rouge that they wanted. So yeah, that was fun, scary and fun.
Yeah. Alrighty, so what is your favorite song, scene, or moment in the show?
My favorite moment very when we first started, we were in tech rehearsals. And of course, being an offstage cover, you're sitting in the auditorium watching, was when boom, word to the wise, my dear, never fall in love. When the lights just go and Ziedler's there and needing to oh, that lighting, I was like, this is cool. This is so cool. I mean, there are so many moments in the show, but that was the first thing that went, yes. A favorite song? Ugh, I don't know. It's hard because, probably, I mean, without being a little bit cliche, I think maybe it has to be moments of Bad Row. Sitting there in the box watching, I always loved with the taste of your lips. Like just the combination of the choreo and the lighting and the sound. Like just Justin, he's incredible. So all of his work, uh, everything that he's done for the show, for the music is just phenomenal. And yeah, it all just works. Like scene wise with the Duke, I love rehearsal scene 2 with that chunk of dialogue. I I really enjoyed every night trying to just find something new in that. Because as someone who, me naturally as a person, I wouldn't say I'm the most confident or I'm one who jumps at the opportunity to have power or control or anything. But in that moment when there's silence after Christian's like, because she doesn't love you, and I would go, yeah, breathe. Everyone is looking at you. Just own it. And I love that moment to because it was really challenging and scary for me at first, and I came to really love that as an actor. But then parts that there are lots of things. It's weird thinking about it now though.
Rehearsal scene 2 is like everybody's favorite. Backstage
It's so
romance.
good.
We ask everybody, and everyone says backstage romance is their favorite. I mean,
Mm,
backstage. Yeah, that's it. Backstage. I don't know why I was thinking of something else.
I do
Brain
like that,
fog.
like that beginning of like Roxanne with the lighting and like Nini and
mm,
Santi, and
And the
there it's
drums.
oh my God, it's so good.
yeah,
And
yeah,
just
Like the transition from Chandelier to Roxanne is just no
yeah.
matter where I
is
sit in
it
the
do,
theater, and it's
do, do,
still,
do, do. Oh, it's so
and
good.
it's yeah, it's such a great. I look forward to that moment. Like I'm like, okay, Roxanne's coming, because I just look forward to
Yeah.
the way the atmosphere changes.
It's so
Um,
dramatic.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
Yes.
it's so
I
dramatic.
mean, drama in Moulin Rouge? No.
Never heard of it.
What? Um, okay. What has been your favorite, and if you've had one, stage mishap
Oh, there have been many. From me or from someone else?
from you?
From me, there have been a few mishaps, but the first one that popped into my head, which wasn't really within my control. Oh, coming into the elephant just before Duke's song, walk in, cool, and it's like sexy, and then your arm goes up, and then the leg crosses around. In the moment when I took the breath in to start singing, something caught in my throat, and I didn't know if it was still going to be there when I started to sing, but I'm like, I just have to because I can't cough right now. I can't clear my throat. I've just got to go with it. And I started to sing, but it wasn't singing. It was, I hope this doesn't sound, no, I won't say that. It was like I mean, I was choking through that whole phrase. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I was choking and words weren't coming out. And then I couldn't breathe in, but I couldn't get anything out. And I look over when I turn, because I cleared my throat then, and I look over, and Alinta, who was playing Satine, she's just kind of laughing. She's just laughing at me. But there are many moments. There was one time in rehearsal scene 2 when I just forgot my lines. I just forgot my lines in that big thing, and I started making things up, and they're all corpsing on stage laughing at me. And yeah, uh, I don't think I had the worst like mishaps on stage. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, wait, hold on. You've gone a little bit. You
No.
frozen for a second.
Are we there?
Oh
Are we
wait,
there?
hold on. Okay, I'm good. Lily, are you good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. I was like, is he good?
Technical
Um,
difficulties.
technical difficulties, sorry guys. 2024, we still have technical difficulties. Sorry, please carry on.
Oh no, I was just saying we had one of our treks. He used to always say bedazzled instead of bedeviled before. Oh no,
Hold on.
are
Hold
we
on.
there? Maybe it's because this story shouldn't come out. Maybe I'm not supposed to say this.
Maybe that's what it is. Lily, you're frozen for me as well.
Oh,
Oh
really?
my good. Wait. Oh,
Oh.
insert that music, like elevator music. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding,
Really
ding,
great
ding.
elevator music, Jules.
Okay, I'm good. Lily, are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, we're good. We're back to normal. Okay,
And we're back.
and we're back. Okay, so you left off saying that instead of saying bedeviled, he said bejeweled
Bedazzled.
to lose.
He'd always say
Bedazzled.
bedazzled. Who bedazzles even as she bewitches.
Just changing up the words, changing it
But
up.
he couldn't,
I
yeah,
love
he could
that.
never
It's
get it right.
just
Sorry, that was random.
no, it's fine. Um,
Oh, I did have one good
yeah.
one. Sorry, it just popped into my head. It was
No.
the night that my sister and her husband, who'd come over from Hawaii, were seeing me for the first time. And it's at the end of the Duke's apartment scene, and You Are Mine. I turn, I pick up my foot to walk off stage, and my foot gets caught in Satine's dress, and I trip. And I'm talking like a full trip, almost face plant. And I went, okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And I just like threw my head back at her and scowled at her and then walked off. But you could hear people laughing. Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Oh my God.
You are mine.
Hey, it could have been worse.
Yeah. Oh,
And of
It could
course,
have
it's
been.
like that scene that you're supposed to be like scary and
yeah.
powerful and
Yeah. And then I
everything.
trip on her dress and make a
It,
fool of
Oh.
myself. Yeah, that was my brother-in-law after the show. He was like, that wasn't supposed to happen, was it? So it was okay that I laughed. I'm like, yeah, it was okay.
that's so funny. Um, sorry, that's hilarious to me. Just like a serious moment. Just it could have been worse. You could have like full
Yeah,
on
that's true.
face
That
planted
is
the
true.
floor and then like broken your nose or something or broken your
Well,
face.
yeah,
That
speaking
wouldn't have
of
been.
breaking my nose, having the second time that I went on a Zeidler, we call it Bloody Sunday, because I
Oh,
had a blood nose that started about 10 minutes before the show, and we couldn't stop it. We could not stop it. And there's this cream that you put up your nostril to, I don't know, we were doing that and that wasn't working. And then we were trying to plug it, but it just would not stop. And the show started, the music's starting, and I'm in my dressing room. Our stage manager's there going, well, our deputy stage manager, because our stage manager was in Korea at the time, putting in a Korean production. He's like, you've got to go to stage. I'm like, my nose won't stop bleeding. And then Creole Lady Mama Lard, and Zeda's supposed to pop his head through the curtain. Hello, chickens. But there's silence because I'm in the wings trying to stop the blood. And then the set behind the curtains is coming off. The light things are coming down. And then my stage manager's like, you've got to go. And so I'm like, ah. And I race and I skid under this lighting rack that's coming down, which was a big no-no because it could have crushed me. And Sam Dodemaide, who plays Nini, she is well known for if there is a break and nothing's happening, she will just ad lib as loud as she can. And it was very funny. She's very good at that. But I eventually popped my head through after what seemed like an eternity. Hello, chickens. Yes, it's me, your own beloved Harold Ziedler. Pop through, wipe my nose because blood is going down my face in the flesh, and it just kept coming. And so any chance that I got to be off stage, if I wasn't saying anything or singing, I was off in the wings, like blotting the blood. But by the end of it, my gloves were all red. Everyone in the show, everyone on stage in the cast, was like looking at me and with fear. People, there was like a couple of people who went off and being, James has got a blood nose, and they're like, we know. It was bad. People like there was blood on my shirt, blood on my gloves, blood on my face. in my goatee and my mustache. Um,
I think the audience members were like,
what
what
is
kind of
going on?
Moulin Rouge
Yeah.
is this?
I mean, maybe he'd just been doing one too many lines, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's,
thinking about it, it's pretty stupid,
oh
right?
my,
Like the show probably should have stopped at that point and sort of, but anyway,
yeah, I feel like I was like,
yeah,
showstopper.
yeah,
That's, wow. Oh my God.
Wild.
wild. It
Wild.
was wild.
Alrighty, so what was taking your final bow like?
Uh, it was strange. It was definitely like strange emotions. I did get a bit teary, um, but not like in an overly dramatic way. We were all like pretty ready. Like obviously you work your way to that place, but it was really nice. We had an incredible audience, and the vibe on stage was really lovely. But yeah, it was weird because I have loved getting to know the character. Like I love him I know that, he's the villain of the show, but when you get to know someone, and it sounds so silly, actually, I don't want to sound like an idiot. But yeah, like I was sad because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss this guy. Gonna miss hanging out with him every night. But yeah, it was weird.
Is he the villain?
No, he's not.
Just,
Satine's the real
he's not the
villain.
villain.
This
Oh,
is my thing.
Oh,
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 Think about it.
that's a hot take.
Think about it.
oh.
Christian is just young and dumb and naive. Satine is the one who's lying to everyone. She's also spreading her illness, and she's obviously people are lying behind the Duke's or to the Duke and going behind his back, but really she's the one who she makes all of the moves.
Well,
The
kind
Duke
of.
is like
You know
straight
what that
up.
leads?
He's like, this is what the deal is.
Yeah, true. He's pretty straightforward. That kind of leads me into my question. Okay, I love asking people this because there's so many theories. What kind of leads into the question. What do you think happens to the Duke after Satine basically dies? Because in the show, he says that,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
good night, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, no one owns me. Oh, we'll just see about that. And then he walks off stage.
And then you don't see him again
And
until
then you don't see him
I
again until Encore, and
know.
he's like,
Encore.
oh, really nice and happy. So there's so many theories we've asked, when we had Andrew on the other week, we asked him as well what he thought of the Duke, like what happened. So I'd love to know from someone who's played the Duke, what do you think happens to him after Satine dies?
Well, I think he probably goes and has a little hissy fit in his blue apartment on his very long chaise lounge, has his hissy fit. He gets all the boys in to do a dance number for him, and he probably sings a song that doesn't get performed in the show. No. Yeah, the Duke needs another number at that point. Um I Okay, if we're gonna go legit storyline of the Duke's world, I think he probably uh tries and numbs himself to the experience, goes and finds someone else, goes and drinks himself to a stupor, spends all his money, he probably just fills his time with things that numb him. Then he probably dies because he
Yeah.
would have caught the dreaded
Oh,
lurgy.
we got consumption
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I mean, like a
We
bacteria-based
have
thing.
my
Um,
someone else in the cast, we had this little joke that um it would be funny if at the end of every show, after the encore, everyone goes off. There's a little moment that the Duke has the little scene at the end of the credits, like in a movie, and it'd be something so silly like he gets pushed out on the Eiffel Tower and Pierre's just standing there in the corner going like he just does something. It's just so stupid, like these ridiculous things that the Duke does. Yeah, it's dumb, I know.
there's so many theories. Like, some people think he has a wife because he says to Satine to be my
Mistress, yep.
mistress. There's that theory. There's theories that he just, because like we've talked about it, like after like the Rouge closes, or
Mm.
so there's so many
Well, what do you
theories, and you
think?
can ask everyone.
I like the dance number thing with the guys because
Yeah, I
like the
love
Duke
that.
wants the dancing. The Duke likes the dancing.
That's it.
More jumping
Right.
and
Jumping and
kicking.
kicking. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, what do you think happens to him?
Um, I think he kind of moves on because I don't know if he fully loves the teen that much. Like I think he does like the idea of her, I think a little bit. Um, I think he's like probably
Mm.
a little bit upset, like, damn. I do make a lot of memes about the Duke. I have a really good one. I
Yeah.
don't think I've posted it, but it's like him crying into money. So I do kind of think he's a bit like, okay, well, on to the next one. I think he's sad for a little bit and then he's just like, well, shit happens
Mm.
basically. Like
Well, yeah, because
oh,
one of the things that they talk
you know.
about with the Duke is that they they say that his version of love, like he loves Satine, he's never loved anyone before, but his version of love is what it is. And you've got to try and, as the actor, go, okay, what does that mean? What does that mean for the Duke? So he's obviously never felt these things before, but he's experienced this with her. And I believe that it is different. Like, but the thing that also I think probably gets him going is that she treats him in a way that no one else has treated him before. Like she challenges him, and that's kind of sexy to him, I think. Um, and I do think the moment when Christian's like, because she doesn't love you, I think he thinks he thought that she did love him up until that point, and now he's trying to work through his what the reality of the situation is, because people generally, in my opinion, his life is cushy, so people just pander to his needs and his wants, and people will say things, and not that I don't think he's dumb, but I don't think he's the smartest when it comes to seeing the reality of situations, because his world would be unnatural in that regard. No one would tell him, he wouldn't get in trouble. No one would tell him the truth of the situation. They'd just make sure that he's happy and comfortable. So, yeah, I wonder when it comes to him being upset about it. I mean, I think my Duke would probably be pretty upset, but I don't know. Moulin Rouge, the musical part two. Rise
Yes,
of
the
the
That's
Duke.
literally
musical.
what Jules and I said. I mean, I think like we talked to Andrew a couple weeks ago and he said that like that moment when the Duke finds out about the affair with Christian, that like it's embarrassing for
Mm.
him. And so I think, that kind of would play a part
His ego would be completely
in like
like
16.
taking a hit,
Exactly. Yeah. So
And
I
everyone
do
knew
think he'd
except
be,
you.
yeah, I think he'd
humiliating.
be upset by that. I don't think he'd be really upset about like Satine not loving him or anything like that, but I think he'd be more upset about his ego being
Yeah,
like
yeah.
stripped or, just that confidence going away because he was embarrassed by all of these artists.
Oh, the poor guy.
Poor, poor Dookie.
We're Duke apologists.
We're the Duke's lawyers. We always say we're gonna be the Duke's
Sweet.
lawyers. Because they're like, oh, he killed a man. I'm like,
Did
did
he?
he? Did
Yeah.
he do
But
it?
also, we don't know. Nini could just be saying that because, I mean,
Nene could be just
Exactly.
yeah,
doing it to scare
it's
her.
all hearsay.
And
Innocent until proven guilty, I
it is
say.
objection, hearsay. Exactly. I know he threatens to kill Christian, but it's only a threat. Does he
Who
go
hasn't
through with
threatened
it?
to kill
Oh.
someone?
Let's be real.
Oh, maybe you should edit this a lot.
This is great. This is the best one. Um, Lily, go ahead. You gotta get my shit together.
I was just gonna ask, do you have any Rouge songs that like tend to follow you everywhere? For me, it's Firework by Katy Perry.
Oh, like walking
Chandelier for me.
around and walking into a store, and that's, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just hear
You
a
know,
song from Rouge.
strangely enough, Lady Marmalade has been was played a lot since the show closed. And I was very surprised by that. I mean, Katy Perry's always around. I do love it when it's not the song is playing in the distance and it just catches my ear. I do like it's kind of funny. But yeah, no, I Lady Marmalade surprisingly for me recently.
I was in Lululemon. This was like back last year, I
Mm.
think I was in Lululemon and I or no, it was during the summer because like
Oh,
I was just like in my
Lululemon.
yeah, I was in my Rouge phase, but I was in Lululemon with my mom and Hey Y'all was playing
Oh,
and I started doing like the encore like choreography
yeah.
in the middle of the store.
CCTV
It's
footage, we've
yeah,
got to see that.
yeah, we need to find that. I'm gonna contact that store, Lily, and be
Oh
like, I
gosh.
need this. Um, okay, so I have talked to you before about Broadway.
Hmm.
I've told you that I'm manifesting that you come to Broadway. I'm a manifestation. Do you have we have one Aussie right
Yep.
now, so we can always make room for another Aussie. Um, do you have anything what's like a dream role of yours? You're like, this is what I want
Oh
to do one day. Like, everyone
gosh.
has that dream. What's a dream role for you?
Um, that has to that I've noticed that it's had to change regularly because I'm, I can't do things that I maybe would have liked to have done when I was younger because I'm too old now. So it's changing all the time. When I was at university, I really wanted to do um Fabrizio in Latin Piazza. And I'm not as classically my voice isn't it used to be a little more classically inclined than it is now. But I just loved this I loved that musical and I loved the sound and I thought the character was really lovely. And also that was my first musical that I ever saw on Broadway. So maybe that was it. Like the walls open. Anyway, that was one of them. This might be a really weird one, but I'm hanging out for it when I get into my 60s. Um, the play, this is going to be very obscure, so please don't judge me. The play The Goat or Who is Sylvia by Edward Albee. Martin, the guy in that who falls in love with the goat. I've always been really interested in the complexity of that character because as an actor, I want to like get into that headspace because that's weird. It's a really weird concept to try and grasp as someone who doesn't experience falling in love with a goat. Um, but that's a strange one. Current,
What do you mean? It's not like an everyday occurrence for
well,
you?
not for me, maybe for you, Jules, but I don't know. No, it's I'm not like I'm at the age where I would love to play Bobby from Company, but I think that version of Company won't really get much more airtime because of the new adaptation, which I think is great. But I like that character, and I guess I can sort of relate to him in a way. And lastly, there's a play, Venus in Fur by David Ives, and I love the writing of that piece. It's a two-hander, and I think the characters are written really well. The female role, I think, is the star of the show, but think I would really love to play the male character in that just because I like the piece and I like her character and I want to be a part of that. I don't know, maybe not what you had expected. What do you reckon my dream roles should or would be? Like what would you like to see me do? Not that
Um,
you really have seen anything of me, but what do you reckon?
Lily, you
Oh,
want to go first?
I'm trying to think of like shows that I've seen. I
I'm
don't
about to
have
say
anything
something
right
stupid. I'm gonna say something stupid, so I
Do
gotta
it.
rethink
No,
my
do
idea.
stupid. I'm all for stupid.
I'm gonna say I just want to see you be Christian.
You know,
Double
I
time
had
it.
an
One man show. You could
one
do a
man
one man
show.
Moulin Rouge
I
show.
did
You
have a
could.
goal when I was
James, I would fly to Australia to watch you do
okay.
that.
Maybe we can. I'll have a chat to Alex Timbers and just to see what we can do.
Sure. Matt DiCarlo follows us, so we'll hit him up, we'll text him and be like, "Hey Matt, I got a great idea for you. It's gonna make a lot of money."
Well, I when I first was off stage principal cover, part of me, I'm like, well, I love the characters that I cover, but I want more. And initially, I was like, well, I'm going to try and I'll learn Christian and I'll learn Santiago because I think I could do those. And things didn't turn out that way, but yeah, I'd love to give Christian a crack. Yeah.
We found a new Broadway Christian.
Oh,
James
nah.
Bryers,
I
everybody.
wouldn't sell the tickets. I wouldn't sell the
Coming June
tickets like
2024.
some of those others. Quickly, Aaron Tveit, this just popped into my head. I saw Hairspray when he was playing Link back in the day, and the night that I saw it, he fell into the orchestra pit during Nicest Kids in Town, skipping around the
I
front,
didn't
and then he fell into the orchestra pit and he disappeared. And we're like, what? And then he had to obviously run back up, and he came back on stage, and it's like, wow.
I didn't know of that stage mishap. That's
Yeah.
wow. That must have
I
hurt.
know. You'd think.
Yeah.
Because those pits are deep.
I know we saw Sweeney again recently to see Tveit, and the pit in Sweeney is huge and like pretty deep. I'm like I just can't imagine like accidentally falling in there. We had one of our Zidlers fall into Can.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is scary because Can's already really small anyway.
Well, you're especially on Broadway,
It's-
you guys are tight.
we have a
Yeah.
small theater. We're like
Yeah.
the Al Hirschfeld is not as big as like some of the touring production like theaters you guys go
Mhm.
to. Al Hirschfeld was kind of pale in comparison compared to some other
But that's
ones.
also quite nice because it
Yeah.
could be quite personal. And yeah, I like a small theater where you feel really close and part of it. But I also think Moulin Rouge is the kind of show that can be big and loud and still very inclusive of a large audience. So yeah, oh, I wonder if anyone was hurt. Do we know?
I think he was okay. I think he was okay.
And I didn't hear anything
He,
about the audience members being hurt, so
I'm surprised we didn't have more
yeah.
people falling
Well,
off the passerelle into the can-cans and into the audience. Like those, the
it's not
kicking
very
and jumping
big.
around,
Yeah,
and
it's
whew,
oh my God.
I got hit in the face with a can
of
skirt once
course you
actually.
did. I love watching that happen. It's so fun. I'm like,
Yeah,
you sit there, it's going to happen.
I was sat in I sat in Can for the first time and boom, and I was like
Oh.
I told it was heel one. Heel one. Shout out to Caitlin Mesh. And I told her, and she's like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "No, like you don't ever have to apologize for hitting me in the face."
There
Okay.
was,
I was like,
Honestly,
it
I
just
would be
added
like,
to
I
the
love that.
experience.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at remembering the numbers, but whoever, because we call them skirts over here. So the one that gets the money in the mouth, what number is that?
One.
Oh,
Heel
is that
one.
okay? The part where she goes back and her legs split and kick, she hit two can people with both of her feet. And boom. We also had a Ziedler cane
What an experience.
thrown accidentally because our Ziedler, he would hat on, he'd throw cane from side to side during coquettes and boulevardiers, like before that. He would throw. One time he just missed it and like smack into a patron. Yeah.
I don't think we've ever I've heard of the chandelier glasses falling into the thing. But I've never the only thing I've ever had thrown at me is Duke money. That's because I asked for
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I got Duke money
Yeah.
once. That's the only
Love
thing
some
I've
good dick money.
love a good bit of Duke money. Um,
Yeah, I don't think
but
there's anything that
I've not heard of anything crazy like that happening on
We had
Broadway.
someone fall into the cans and break one of the tables. Yeah.
Derek Klenner broke the table in Truth, Beauty, Freedom, and Love. I know about that.
Oh,
He broke
getting
that
up on
table.
top. Okay.
He broke that. But I've never heard. Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever fallen into like Can, like except for Zidler,
except
and
for
that was
yeah.
recently. But apart from that, like I've never heard of anything
What Ziedler did that? It
crazy,
wasn't Boy
crazy
George
happening.
because that would have been.
And it was
It
Eric
was Eric.
when
Oh,
Eric was in.
that's
Eric.
that's tough. But I guess it's the kind of character that you can work your way out of it, right?
Eric was
character-wise.
he's very like big and like so he probably would have just brushed it
Mm.
off and stuff like that. He's
I
like
think he posted on Instagram. He was just
he
like, "All
posted
is
on Instagram. He was like,
okay."
yeah, I'm all good. Um, yeah, wow. Um, okay, Lily,
Yeah.
your next question. I also have fan
Um.
questions too, and some of them are kind of funny. You have a lot of fans, James, people who've seen you
Do
in the
I?
show. So
Oh, that's very. I
yeah,
have to say, the people. I feel it's very lovely. Some of the things that people say and do have done for me. Like it's. I feel very fortunate to have supportive people around. Like the amount of all of the fan art, far out. And some of it is so cool. Well, it's all very cool. I won't say some of it is cool because it's all cool, and I feel really lucky to have it. I just don't know what to do with it now. Like I want to frame them all and put them. I just don't have enough wall space. And I look like a Swiftie with
I
all
love
of
seeing the
my
fan art.
like beaded bracelets.
I saw that. I saw your your
Yeah,
Instagram post, and you.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's why I commented. I was like, Duke and a Swiftie era.
yeah. That was me, and that was you. That,
Reputation.
yeah.
That was me. We have I actually have some bracelets as well. Like I wear them every time I go to the show.
Me
Oh,
Friends have
too.
that's
made me.
cool.
So we
Hmm.
wear them every time we
Yeah.
go and make sure they're in my bag and we put them on before we go to the show.
Oh,
Me too.
sweet.
And you're like, Taylor Swift who?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Never heard of her. Yeah, before we get to fan questions, I was just gonna ask, what makes Moulin Rouge different from any other show that you've performed in?
Ooh, I find that difficult to answer because it could be a number of things, but I'll start with firstly the company, the produce. I've never and not to say that I haven't had great producers in other shows because I have. Um, but I think it's a combination of coming out of COVID and everything that was wrapped up with all of that strangeness. And our producers, I've never seen producers in the building as regularly as we saw, and how much care I felt from them. It was a strange experience for me.
Oh,
You get that, bud? There we go.
Maybe.
Um, you
my
just missed
Wi-Fi
it.
went
James
down.
just
I
gave like some
apologize.
great secrets. You know, you missed the whole thing.
My Wi-Fi went out.
And I
All
can't
the secrets
divulge
will
them again.
leave. Yeah, you just had to be there.
You never want to talk to me again after
Sorry.
this.
No, we'll have you on again, mate. I, this is for real, you know, before we even started this, we were just chatting away. We're just we're just chatting like it's so funny because the thing I found about this show is you meet these, you know, we've been really fortunate enough to meet a lot of the cast members from Broadway at stage door and stuff like that. Um, and everyone is just
Mm.
so lovely. And you meet these actors and they recognize you because you go a lot or just to talk with them. And I don't know what Moulin Rouge be doing, but you guys are like the nicest people.
Yeah, I always say you guys are like the most interactive
Yeah.
casts
Even on
Mm.
as a collective. All the casts are just so interactive with the
like
fans, and I'm like, I've never been in a fandom of like a Broadway show
Mm.
or a theater production that like has that like interaction
even on
with the
social
cast.
media, like um
Yeah.
you know, I've tagged you in a few memes before and stuff like that. And like, you know, a lot of you, even in Australia, you know, I've showed a lot of love for you guys. I love you guys, and I'm so sad I couldn't get to see you. But just the interaction I've had with like, you know, I've not even seen you, and you guys are halfway across the world, and I've been able to have interactions with you guys,
Mm.
and everyone has just been so sweet, and the cast is just you. I don't know, Moulin Rouge just be casting really nice people. Um,
And
so yeah, sorry, that's a
I've
little sappy
never
moment.
been in a show. No, 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 sappy. I'm all for sappy. Um, I've never been in a show where with other versions of the show going on in other parts of the world and communicating with people from those productions. Like I've never done that before. And like I've known David Harris since 2010, 2009, 2010. And so that's really cool. Like to just to chat to him about some things. And he came over and saw the show back when we were in Sydney, and I think he was actually in the tour then, and then it was announced he'd go to Broadway. And like and chatting to people in Japan and then in the German production, and yeah, it's a different it is a different experience. I don't necessarily know why or what contributes to it being so different, but it's definitely been a really fun ride.
Most definitely. And like I was saying, before we even started recording today, we were just sat there, all three of us just talking, and I was like, I don't want to take up all this time. We're gonna start the question. Just like so it's very yeah, it's every experience we've had has been great. And like you said, it's you we, I've met, you know, I've talked to people who are fans who live in Australia who've seen the show a lot of times, or I've
Mm,
talked to people in the West End who see it like, so it's just like it's also connected the fans in different ways than
mm,
mm, you would expect. I don't think I've ever been a part of a fandom for a musical that's ever been on this scale. I mean, I like things like Sweeney Todd, I love that. But like, yeah, just the fans to connect on that global level, you know.
yeah. Oh, and I
Yeah.
I want
So
I do think it has to do with the way that the company has put the show out there. Like they've had a very clear vision as to what they want for the work, and putting it all around the world at the same time, maybe that's created some kind of unity between the places and people. Maybe we'll never know.
one of life's mysteries. So before we got into fan questions, I have one more thing to say.
Yeah.
I found out recently that you're a baker. You make cakes.
And they look
I
I
found
so
your
good.
Instagram.
They look
Oh,
so
there's that
good.
Instagram that I haven't really posted on for a long time. Yeah. I have been known to
I
bake a
didn't want to
cake
follow
or
it because I
two
didn't want to
or
like scare
many.
you away.
Oh,
I didn't want to
whatever. I
follow it
don't
and
mind.
scare you and be like, this girl's like, yeah, no, I found it. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, they look amazing. Sorry, please keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Thank you. No, no, no. That was a random hobby that came about when I was doing Dirty Dancing in 2015. I was swinging on the show and someone said, "You should bake us a cake every week." And I went, "Okay." And then I started baking a cake a week, and then we'd have little cake parties. And now people ask me to make them and pay me for it. So I'm like, okay, if I could be bothered, because I do understand why people charge a lot of money for a wedding cake. And because it's takes a lot of time. The ingredients actually aren't cheap and it's stressful. But yes, a random little side hobby of mine.
Will you make a cake and send it to us?
I don't know that you'd want that, but maybe when I'm over there, if we happen to be in the same place, I'll make you one for sure. What's your favorite flavors?
Sure. Lily, what do you like? Yeah,
Vanilla. I like a good vanilla
vanilla,
cake.
chocolate. I don't like red velvet though, so no red velvet.
I do like red
Oh,
velvet,
me
but
neither.
I'm a
I don't
vanilla.
like red velvet
Vanilla.
either. Yeah. All right.
Yes. But vanilla, you can never go wrong with vanilla. All right, you heard it here first, guys. So let's back up. So just overnight ship it from Australia won't be a problem, right? Right?
If things could
Okay.
get sent
Fan
overnight, I mean, I
questions.
guess maybe they can. Yes, fan questions. Let's go.
If there's a will, there's a way, James. We'll find.
All
Okay,
right.
someone
Deal.
asked, have you gotten rid of the mustache? No. I can answer
No.
that one for you. Okay. He has not.
I'm
I'm
It's
looking
scared
at
to. I'm
him right
okay.
scared to
now.
get rid of it.
It looks good. Keep it.
I
It
like
looks
it.
good.
Yeah.
But also, there's a part
Um,
of me that, like, I think I don't want to get rid of the Duke just yet.
no.
We'll see.
So you can come to Broadway. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh yeah,
sorry.
Matt,
Okay.
Alex.
Yeah.
We're just
We're
campaigning
campaigning,
right
we're
now.
Yeah,
putting it
let's put
out
it
into
out
the
there.
universe. That's what we have to do. Okay. So my first question is, how did it feel having to constantly move your life around state to state while doing touring?
Oh, look, it's not my favorite thing. I'm very lucky that we don't do it the way that the North American tour do it, and how it's like really regularly moving. That's one good thing about touring in Australia. I mean, we have to tour because we don't have the population or the to for people to come to one location. But yeah, I don't like living out of a suitcase, and I don't like pretending to set up shop for 10 months to a year and then having to pretend to do it again somewhere else. But I'm not complaining about having the job and that being a part of it.
Great answer.
Yeah. Um, what are some of your pre-show rituals?
Oh, they vary, but I get ready really early. I like to come in before the hour call and get my makeup done and my hair done. So that then we do the warm up on stage. And then once the warm up is done, I go and put my costume on straight away. So that, and people always comment on it over the whole 3 years that we were doing it. People were like, "You're ready so early." I'm like, "Yeah, because then I can chill. They don't have to rush to get ready." But they're so it's like a get ready and I chill. I might like sometimes yes, I'll be on the phone or I'll just be scrolling, but other times I just like to zone out and get in a clear headspace. But then other times I am still in my normal clothes up until the 5 minute call and people are shocked. So it varies.
I'm the same. I'm the same because like I was in a production of Head Over Heels and I would get ready like 2 hours early because I just like to chill, do
Yeah.
my makeup, do my hair in front of like a good lit up mirror. And then, we would have to go on for mic check. And I was like, I like to do mic check in my costume because the way that the mics were placed, I was just like, I like to have my costume on. So I had a whole system and like was there
Yeah,
so
I'm all for
early.
that. The chilling.
Love that.
Less
This
TikToks.
I'm not on
Moulin Rouge
TikTok.
Broadway's on a roll with their TikToks. Moulin Rouge Broadway has. Do you know what? There's a TikTok that is made with the person who played Pierre. Is it was it Jason? I don't
Oh,
remember his name. I'm
from
so
the
sorry.
UK, Jason Lee Winter.
Yeah, and it was it's
Oh,
iconic. I love to do
oh, that's
iconic shit.
yeah.
Loved that. I was like, I saw it
That was
and I
one
was like,
take.
oh my God. It was fantastic. Look at you,
Yeah,
he
I
said,
get really nervous. I don't know how TikTok works, and I feel like I've missed that train to jump on, and I would embarrass myself if I had a TikTok and I made TikToks.
well, it's kind of overrated,
Well,
so
look, if
stick to
when
Instagram.
let's when your manifestations of me going over to the States happen, I'm sure I'll have to get on the TikToks.
We'll teach you. We'll teach you. Okay, so this person, sorry, this is funny to me. So they put in all caps because we questions. They went, "I love you so much. Watch you in Oz, and you were amazing. Did you ever get sick of the show? Because I did read somewhere that you did like a full year without taking a day off.
Yeah, my last show off was January 21st, 2022. Hang on, what are we for? No, 2023. Oh, three. Three? Three. What am I talking about? 22. Yeah, January 21st, 2023. But I had to go and do a T9, T10 split. So a flat nine, flat 10 split and the second Duke cover had to go on because they would have had to have cancelled the show. So, but
Oh,
yeah, I didn't take a show off for over a year.
did you ever get
Did I get sick of it?
did you ever get sick of it? Like, here we go, sympathy for the Duke again. I gotta be a good Duke and
I
sing this song,
I felt
like
yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
felt that yeah, sure, I felt that, but I don't know. I think and this again might sound a bit like cliche, but I something that I think I really enjoyed it. I was worried about the repetition when taking over the role. I was like, how am I going to do it? Because some people are really good at the repetition, and I never like to say something the same way or do something the same way because it feels inauthentic. And I haven't mastered the ability to be good at the repetition. And um, I was worried that I'd suck at it. And I somehow developed, I think through the help of, some of the creatives and the directors talking about just finding things to keep me interested in the character. And for me, I was always in the pursuit of making the Duke better every show. And so there were times when people would say, you just take a show off, go and have a break. I'm like, no, I want to try again tonight. I want to try and get this part better. I want to try and sing this better. I want to try and say this line with more truth. And so that became a really good challenge for me. And I think that's what kept me going. I like the challenge of trying to flesh the Duke out a bit more every show.
He's a great character, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Dookie.
Yeah.
Team Duke all the way.
Damn it, Dookie
Dookie Kabuki all the way. We are, like I said, Duke's Lawyers.
Yep.
That should be our
Well,
new fan name, Duke
he'd
Lawyer.
pay well, so
Well, yeah. You know, he's a man of wealth
he's
and
got all the
taste.
monies.
Exactly. I just closed down the questions. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, I can ask
Go
the
ahead.
next one. So what's your favorite memory from doing the show?
One of my favorite memories that popped into my head, because there are lots of them, but one that just popped into my head was our closing night in Sydney. Um, I hadn't taken over the role of the Duke yet, and it wasn't very often that the Satine alternate and the first Christian cover and I would go on at the same time. But we learnt the show together. We sat through the rehearsals together in the back corner, just watching and being stupid, making up silly little games and things. We went through lockdown in hotel quarantine together on Zoom, doing rehearsing the three of us. We had a real strange ride, the three of us off stage covers and the alternate. And so Sydney closing night, by chance, all three of us were on. And that was the last show that I did as a cover before taking over the role. And so it was really nice to do that with them. And yeah, I think it's one of my favorite memories, like being out there with the two of them. And yeah, I feel very lucky to have had both Patrice and Max to hang out with during that time. And then getting to,
That's so
because it's
sweet.
not often that covers get to close or open a season. And all three of us got to close the season in Sydney, which was awesome. Yeah. And they're both incredibly talented, like killer. And not to take anything away from the people that they covered, because Alinta and Des incredibly talented also. Um, but as someone who's come from a background of being a cover, I love seeing what covers can do, because there are times when you don't really get much creative liberty. You got to just replicate, and that can be really difficult. But then when you're given the opportunity to make something your own a bit more, I love seeing what the both of them could do. And I don't, you don't know Patrice and Max, but they are such incredibly talented people. Like their skill. Patrice, I don't know if you've seen any of her stuff, but yeah, because she was Alphaba here and she's done a few other things. But her options up as Satine were always something that people would comment on. And like End of Firework work, she goes all the way up. You know, even in Diamonds, she licked up and her and Max, when they would rehearse, they would in Crazy Rolling. There was an option up that they both would do together when they were on, and it was like so good. Their voices were killer. Anyway, so yes, sorry, a very long answer to that question. One of my favorite memories was closing Sydney with Patrice and Max. Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
so
It's
sweet.
really sweet. Um, aw. Do you think it will, I mean, hopefully it comes back to tours again in Australia. Do you think you would audition again? Do you like,
Oh,
yeah, I'll go back
absolutely.
for it.
Yeah.
You do it
I'm not
again?
done with the Duke. If I get the opportunity to hang out with him again, totally, I want to give it a shot if they'd let me.
We would be down for that. And like, we'll fly to Australia.
Yeah, let me know when you do. You got a place to stay?
Yeah, sure. And just, yep, there we go. I mean, flights to Australia are kind of expensive, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
I have $5. No,
I have $5 in my bank.
yeah. Yeah, no, I looked at I had like a notification from like American Airlines or
Mm.
something, and it was like now servicing like flights straight to Brisbane. I was like, oh, cool, $2,000. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's interesting.
Okay.
That's a
That's
lot of
Right.
money.
well,
Anyway,
Mhm.
for most of my life, having a credit card with very limited amount on it, but it wasn't one of these cards where you get points, right? And so only in the last couple of years have I jumped on board with credit cards that give you points. And now I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? So, and now I have like many points.
I have
Oh,
cash back on mine,
yeah,
that's good.
cashback and
That's
points.
good.
You gotta get those points. Yeah. My American Airlines card, I have so many points on mine because I just be flying back and forth to New York
Well,
all the
now you
time.
can just use those
Doop,
points to
doop,
come to
doop, doop.
Australia, all right? Sweet. Done.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I just need a few hundred more thousand. So, I'll start a GoFundMe.
People do it for,
Help Jules
yeah,
get.
like worse reasons.
Yeah, yeah. This is really critical.
Can Talks podcast goes to
Goes to
Australia.
Australia. Yeah. I'll text Matt DiCarlo. Can we fund this
Yeah,
under the company's money?
yeah. They've got the money.
Yeah, and look, you're gonna come to Broadway. Come visit
Okay.
Broadway. I mean, you're also gonna come to like a manifestation. Um, what other do you think? So obviously, you're gonna go see Rouge because you're gonna have to.
Mm.
Is there any other show you kind of want to see on Broadway right now?
What's out at the moment? To be honest, I haven't even looked to see what's happening. I have a friend in Anne Juliet. I could see that. Mm.
There you go. I'm trying to see what's different from like what's normally on. Because like Wicked and all that, like Anne Juliet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Let's see, look now.
Water for Elephants is in
Water
Oh.
for Elephants, The
previews.
Oh,
Notebook,
yes. Yeah, I'd want to see those things.
Previews.
That would be,
Gatsby's
Gatsby as
yeah.
well.
coming. I'm so excited to see Gatsby. Um, oh
I
my
don't
goodness,
know.
now I've gone. I know The Wiz is coming. Sweeney is on right now.
Little Shop is still
Little
going
Shop is
strong.
I
is
mean, there
is
are
there
many to
too.
choose from.
I know. It's just so many to
Mm,
do in so little
yeah.
time.
Hamilton.
Hamilton. I mean,
Probably
that's
won't be
Australia run
seeing
as well, hasn't it?
Hamilton.
Hamilton, I find, is a one and done for me. I love it. Great show. Love Lin-Manuel
Very
Miranda.
talented.
However, it very talented. It's just a really long show for me. So once I've seen it once,
It's
I'm like,
long.
Yeah.
next one. The Lion King, you got Aladdin. The Wiz is coming. So many
Look, if
different
I had the
things.
time and the money. Oh,
Hadestown.
Hadestown.
Hadestown, yeah.
Hadestown.
I think that's
Hadestown.
coming to Australia.
It's good.
Yeah.
Really? It took a long time. It just got to London, and it took a while to
Yeah.
get to London because it's been out for like 5 years. Hadestown's good. We love Hadestown.
I'm going to campaign
What's
for
another
Patrice, and
fan?
I know you don't know her very well, but I'm campaigning for Patrice to book Hadestown. She should be in everything.
Okay, we're gonna
Yeah.
manifest that one too. Um, yeah, come to Broadway. Let us know when you're in
All
Broadway,
right.
and we'll be like, you can make us our cake.
All right, deal. Done. Okay.
It's just for the cake.
Let's
Yeah,
actually meet me. You just be like,
we'll
okay, cake,
pay.
thanks. Okay, bye.
Yeah, just like you're
Cake.
gonna walk down like the street, hand the cake off, and just be like,
See ya.
"That's the only intro." Just bye. Um, thanks, I guess. Just just for the money.
I
Just for
had
the money, and you
someone,
just be like,
I had a fan make me this cake. I will show you. Why did I do this? I do this. I start saying something and then I instantly go, why did you start talking about this? And now you've got to follow through. And this is the exact scenario. But
this is this is a fantastic. I'm having a great
this
time. This
fan
is
made me this
awesome.
cake. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh my God. That's
Oh.
But
so
it was
cute.
big. Like it was, oh, you
Yeah.
can't really see because of the lighting. But yeah,
That's
it was big
massive.
and it was really yum.
Oh my god.
Surely, I want
Well, there you
a
go. There's
cake
a
now.
random little side note about cake.
I
Is
want
there
people to
anything that's
make me
Oh,
open at
cake.
3 o'clock in the morning that
Uber
can get
Eats?
me a
Surely there's
cake?
an
Yeah.
Uber Eats something out there.
Yeah, this time nothing's open 24 hours anymore ever since
Oh
COVID.
yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Just let us know when you're here, make us a cake, and we'll just like do that heart, like awkward. Everyone just walks down the street. Like, the sly
Oh
money.
yeah.
Take the
Can I
cake
pay with?
and just
You can
walk.
pay
Yeah.
with Duke dollars. Like I will accept. That was really lame. I should.
Okay.
That was embarrassing. Let's just cut that out.
Was gonna
He's like,
say
edit
I
that,
was
edit
gonna say
that.
something.
Oh.
Go ahead, Lily. We're all friends here now.
No, I was gonna say, like, do you accept Duke money?
We got
'Cause
some.
I
We
thought that
got
was
some. You
funny.
know,
I wouldn't
we'll
want to
get some
take that
more.
off your
I'll find
hands.
some.
I wouldn't want to take that off your hands.
It's worth a lot. It's worth a lot. Um, so because David, who's over here on Broadway, has a Duke's Den. Do you know
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
yeah,
His little
yeah.
Duke's
That's a
Den.
lot of work, David.
I was able.
Good on you for putting in that
I
work.
know it looks great.
It looks
I
so
got one
good.
of his cards, his
Oh
little
yeah,
invitation
with
card.
his
I was able to
tattoo
get my
logo.
hands on one. I love it.
You're
Mm.
cordially
Cordially
invited.
invited. I'm like this. This is a shit.
Yeah,
You know, this is a lot of time and effort went into that. Sorry, I thought it just glitched for a second. Yeah, I think. Have you got any more questions, Lily?
I don't.
That's all the
Okay, so
some of the phone questions
bye.
we already asked, basically. Okay, so bye. So this has been really fun, James. So have a nice life. No,
Okay, bye. It froze and probably still frozen. And
hold on. Everyone's frozen right now. Even Lily's frozen. Okay, hold on.
Oh no, Jules, you're not frozen for me. Are we back?
I'm back. James, are you back? He said, "Nah, I'm done."
I'm
He's back.
yeah, I'm
I
out.
was thinking he
I've
was.
left.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, I
Peaced
don't
out.
ever want to talk to these girls ever again. He's like, oh, I'm never doing this again. Never put me on a podcast.
Never, never.
He's like, I'm blocking the accounts. Kidding, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I think that's everything. I think
Fun.
we've answered basically all the questions. Yeah, thank you so much. And you know, you're welcome back.
In a
And
very
you froze
long-winded
again.
way, yes. Yes, you're welcome.
Is he frozen?
Yeah,
Wait,
sorry.
is he?
Wait,
Maybe it's something to do with Australian Wi-Fi.
I don't know if you will hear
That
this,
sounds like
but
a
when oh, okay, Battle of the Countries. Nay. You watch when I bring that cake to you, we'll be walking down the street and I'll go to give it to you, but I'll just freeze.
I'm like, is he okay? Like, so do you need an ambulance? You're just gonna freeze. I'm just gonna pry it from your
But
hands.
then Lily will just instantly
And then
disappear and we will hear recording has stopped.
recording. It's not.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that is everything for me. You're welcome back anytime. You just come on
Oh, well,
anytime.
thank you.
You have another chill week. You just come
Well,
on.
at
We
the
can have
moment,
a
they're
little
looking
banter
pretty
session.
chill and I'm really leaning into it quite well. So,
That's me next week when I go on my
oh,
vacation.
yeah, hey, have fun.
So I'm be like, yeah, I'm going to Italy too.
Oh, sweet.
Woo. If you send
Take
me
me
a
with
cake,
you.
I'll send you pasta from Italy. Deal.
Okay, I do love pasta. So, well,
Same.
Lily, what's your
I'm
next week
sucker
look
for
like?
pasta.
Work.
Fun.
At work, but I've started going to the gym. Actually, so that's kind of how I get my stress out on
Yeah,
the treadmill. So
I need to
You're
start
better
working
than
out
me.
again.
gotta get those
Right?
gains.
She's at the
Gotta
gym
get those
every night. I'm like, what
gains.
are you doing, Jim? What are you doing, Jim? I'm like, girl,
Who's
do you
Jim?
live there? Have you moved in? Who's Jim? Yeah, who's Jim, Lily?
Who's
Who are you
Jim?
not telling me about, Lily? It's like a Duke situation, like when he's like, she doesn't love you.
Hmm?
What?
Hmm?
What'd you just say? Um,
You guys are
oh
fun.
God, thanks. Thank you so much for like this has been so chaotic, but so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on. We
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. Um,
Can I take a
okay, you
photo
come
of
back
us?
anytime. What is
Can I
that?
just take a photo of us?
I was gonna
But I'm
ask
going to do it with
that.
my
Oh,
phone
I was gonna say,
first.
okay,
Okay, ready? You both pulled the same pose. Now I feel like
look at us. Great minds think
I
alike.
got to join it too. Sweet.
Send those to us so we can memories. Love that. Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you so much. It's been yeah, thank you. I know, like I said, the time difference. I was like,
Yeah, I'm sorry that it's so late.
we'll
You
figure it out.
must be really tired.
Oh, we're good. We're good. Well, I'm
nah.
all right. And Red Bull and coffee,
I'm
James. I
all
told you,
good.
Red Bull and coffee. Yeah, you come on anytime. Like this literally feels like it feels like, talking and I don't know, I don't want to sound inappropriate by saying it, but like it's like talking to
I'll take
friends,
that.
like someone you know.
Well, we do know
I
each
mean,
other
me and Lily
now.
are friends. Well, now we do. And we know more about each other. James can bake a mean cake, and
They could taste
I live
terrible.
in
You don't know
Florida.
that. Yeah, you live in Florida and you live in
You
Ohio.
know what? You know what? That's true. It could taste terrible, but I did see the one you did for Rouge, and it looked really good.
It did taste
It's like
good
I want a
too.
slice of that.
Yeah. They all taste good. I
Of
can't
course, you're
stand
gonna
it.
say that. You're the one
What?
who baked.
No, but I can't stand cakes that don't taste good. I'm not a cake person, but if a cake doesn't taste good, if it looks good and doesn't taste good, it looking good doesn't negate the fact that it should taste good.
I've had cakes that look good, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
and they're
Waste of
like dry. I'm
calories.
like,
Yeah.
waste of. I know, right? I'm like, if I want to fill myself up with calories, I want to do it the
Right
right
way.
way.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, no, I do want to visit Australia. I'll let you know when I come to Australia.
Yeah. No,
Give me
really.
like
Like
a few
that. I
years
know
so we
that's
can.
weird and we just kind of met, but
No,
yeah, let me know if
no.
ever you get down here. I know it's a big feat to come to Australia, but if you do, let us know. I'm a very good tour guide.
Well, awesome. And hey, same with you come back to
Sweet.
Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
And
You
visit
come,
Ohio, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. Go see Lima, Ohio.
Yeah, gotta go to Lima.
Oh my God. Lima's
Party,
Lima's up
How
party
north
up
far
in
away from
Lima
it?
from me.
or Cincinnati.
Oh man. Maybe like
And how do
three,
people
four
talk in
hours.
Lima?
I don't even know, honestly, because I'm not from there.
They
So
have an
I'm just
American
like,
accent. They have like Christian American accent.
I would.
When Casey Cott
yeah.
was Christian,
Mm.
sorry,
Well, yeah, because he's
he's
near
like
that.
from the area of Lima, Ohio, and
Oh,
he used to say he would say
Yeah, it's up
he
toward
would say
Cleveland.
Cleveland, but he would go Cleveland. He used to always make me giggle.
oh.
They say that we have accents, but I don't hear it, so.
Well, yeah, maybe I will go to
Well,
Lima.
James Bryers is a Kiwi, so
Well, yeah, true. I normally get that right. I feel stupid that I didn't. But in saying that,
don't
you
feel
do sound a
stupid.
bit like a Kiwi.
I'll take it. I'll take the compliment because I did a DNA test and I was like, maybe I have something calling me like Australian because I wanted to do a DNA
Oh,
test.
cool.
And Shock of Shocks found out it's fully European.
Ah,
I was like,
well, just in that
I'm
chunk
like,
of dialogue
boom.
that you said there, you sounded a little more British. Do you know that I
Awesome.
am predominantly British as well?
Yeah.
My
Do you know like what part of your
Well,
family's
my
from?
mum was born in the Isle of Sheppey. She's
Oh,
Sheerness. It's a small war town where the ships used to go during the war. Her last name is Isles. It's very British. I have family over there. We could be related.
look at
Never know.
this. Related, baker. I like to bake too. Maybe we are.
I'll bake off. What do you bake?
Great minds think alike. I like making pineapple upside down cakes.
Oh,
I
fruity.
love you know this because you're Australian. Sausage rolls.
Oh,
I love sausage rolls. My mum just made some tonight.
I love it when my mum makes sausage rolls. Lily, have you ever had a sausage roll?
No.
We got to change
Finally, we're gonna have to
that.
make you some. We gotta change that. Um,
Jules, can you ship some
sure.
from Florida?
There
Let
is
me
a
ship some.
company. There's a
Over here.
company over in America who does. You can get Australian meat pies and Australian sausage rolls and Vegemite too if you want.
I was about to say if it has
Have you ever
Vegemite,
had
yeah.
it?
Veggie mate.
Yeah,
How did you have it
definitely.
though?
I've not had it.
Yeah, I kind of just ate
Oh,
it
well, that's
straight.
your problem. I mean, I can
Oh,
eat it
that's a death
straight.
wish.
I can eat it like that. But you have to have it on a really good buttery bit of toast. Like heaps of butter, really good toast,
Okay.
and not too much Vegemite. Have you had Marmite though, Jules?
Yeah, I don't like it. My sister loves it,
Yeah,
and
okay.
it's because it's like you either love it or you hate
Yeah,
it. And I don't like
that's
Marmite. My
fair.
sister will eat it on toast.
I have siblings who don't like Vegemite. I love it. Oh,
I like Tim Tams.
oh yeah,
I'm a sucker for Tim Tams.
yeah. You've never had a Tim Tams, Lily? I am gonna have to
Mm,
come. Tim Tams are like a chocolate covered
they're really good.
cookie. We call them biscuits, but it's
Yeah,
it's like a
biscuits.
wafery kind of chocolate cookie covered in chocolate. And over here we do these things called Tim Tam slams, and they're like
I
the
love
shape of a
those.
phone but smaller. and you bite the top corner off and the bottom corner off, and then you drink like a hot chocolate through like it's a straw. And then as you're sucking it, you got to be really quick, and it melts in your hands, and then you just shovel it all in your mouth. I've never met an
I'm in.
American who doesn't
Sold.
like Tim Tams.
Tim Tams are great. I love them. They were in the store a few weeks ago. I was like, I need to pick some up because I love them.
I'm like, I'm still American. I just had a burger and onion rings for dinner.
Very
That is very
American.
American.
Very. We need to have like a culture shop. I said shop. Swap. We'll just all get together and we're gonna do
You know what we could do?
Vegemite
Gosh, this is
burgers.
me. I could make a little Australian pack and I'll send them over to you. They're very expensive to make. Um, and then you can just send me over things like that cost a lot of
Sure.
money that I can just have.
Sure.
And I'll
Sure.
send you
Sure.
Vegemite.
I send packet. You can send her Vegemite. I'm not gonna eat Vegemite. James, don't do this to me. Yeah, we'll send you.
I'll take a bite. I'll take a little, and then I'll send it to
Yeah,
you,
and
Jules.
I'll be like, yeah. Yeah, we'll send you good old American stuff that's full of sugar and red
Oh
dye
yeah.
number 40 and all the bad stuff.
It's so bad
That's the best way
food. I
to
mean, we
go.
have it over here too. I mean, I think you've got it a little worse over there, all of the stuff that you have in your foods. Like we don't really use high fructose corn syrup. That's not in our things over here.
Yep.
But
It's a lot of
it's
things over here.
crazy. Now we're getting like
Yeah.
real deep. Anyway.
Yeah.
But you two need to go to bed.
Anyway, I know. He's falling asleep. Thank you again.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Thanks for
Thank you
chatting.
so much.
It's been fun.
Yeah. Like I said, just chatting. Like I said, we'll just do this again. Just not record. Just come up on here and just have a little
All
chit
right, I
chat.
haven't been on Zoom for a long time, so this has been
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's been great.
We'll say
Yeah.
hi again whenever you want.
Yeah. Pop in.
Hope you have a good
We'll drop a
little
little text.
vacay. Hope work goes well, Lily.
Thank
I
you.
look forward to hearing
Boo.
your thoughts on the next people who jump on Broadway bandwagon of Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, starting blah blah blah, James Bryers Duke, and we'll be like,
Imagine.
fuck yeah. And we're gonna come up and we'll like be there for like your show and then we'll be at
You know,
stage
the
2
bad
for
thing
like
is that I feel like I'm cheating if I was to go and get another job with another show. It's really bad. I don't like that feeling because I need to pay my bills. I've got to pay my mortgage. But I also don't, yeah, I don't want to cheat on Moulin Rouge.
I know, it's such a great show. That's like it's like what Tveit did, you know, he's like kept coming back.
Well, maybe I'm just having a
And
break.
I was
We're
like,
just we need a little time apart for a brief period.
little break. Yeah, you know, you and the Duke need to have a little bit of a moment
Yeah,
before you come back
yeah.
together.
And it will be better,
Yeah, and
bigger
yeah,
and
it's
better and
gonna
stronger.
exactly. And then it's gonna be that announcement and we're gonna come up to New York and we'll be like,
And I'll go,
Dookie!
here's your cat.
You'll see us in the
Hey,
audience.
yeah, hey,
And I'm gonna take it and Lily's gonna disappear and it's
yeah.
gonna say recording in process. There we go.
Boom.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Well,
Have a good night. Lovely to officially meet
thank you.
you.
Send us send the photos.
Oh yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah. I'll do that.
please.
I'll do that right now.
Oh yeah, when you get a moment. No rush.
No worries.
All right. Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was hands down my favorite interview we've done.
Yeah, that
That
was really
so
fun.
good. I just love the way he's like, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm like, no, you just keep talking.
No, please.
That's
That's why we're
okay.
here. And then my Wi-Fi went out, and
No, because it just went recording stopped, and we literally we both looked at each other like,
texted me. I was like, it kicked me out, and then I realized my phone's not on Wi-Fi. I was like,
so we were like,
dang it!
when she comes back, we're gonna tell her that you told me all this. Oh, he was so sweet. What a lovely person. Hands down, my favorite one we've done. Just so nice.
Team Duke
Team
all the
Duke.
way. Let's just go on a Team Duke roll,
Yep.
Jules.
We need Ben Richards next,
We need-
who's in West End. David Horonth.
David
David
Ross.
Horonth.
Yeah.
Tam,
Dylan,
Finley,
Finley,
Jack. Now Jack does it.
Jack. Yeah.
We're gonna get all the Dukes we can get.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Duke. It's
Team
gonna be
Duke.
hashtag Team Duke podcast now. We're rebranding everybody.
Yeah. It's not Can Talks anymore. It's Team Duke.
I think we should use
Dukey's lawyers. Second
He
podcast.
just texted me. He's
Call of
like, "That was
Duty
really
spoilers.
fun. Thank you." The photos he took. We should use those as a cover. I'll send them to you.
Yes. So that was a fun episode. It is late here, and
It's
slap
it
happy
is
me is coming
yeah.
up.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I gotta get some.
It's 3 o'clock for me, but it's okay. I just ate chocolate, which Jules knows
Just
now knows.
it's the I ate chocolate. Thanks for the life update. I was so confused. I'm gonna go follow his cake account now.
Alrighty, I'm gonna end this lovely episode. Thank you guys for listening. I'm so sorry if it was so scatterbrained / internet problems, but we love
All right.
technology.
Bye, boo.
We will see you guys next week.